Hi, this is Amy Packer, the president of Temple Bethel, with your January update. It's hard to believe, but January 2021 is almost over. And for me, that means we are that much closer to being together again soon. In the meantime, there is so much going on in our community, and there's more to come. Just last week, we had a wonderful Shabbat program featuring a presentation of modern-day prophets by our sixth graders. And then on Saturday night, B Sisters and Men's Club sponsored a very entertaining musical evening in 2 acts. In this month's video, I will be sharing where we are in the strategic vision and planning process that began almost a year ago, and will be wrapping up in the next month or two. I'll give you a quick update from the COVID task force. I'll share about the upcoming Can We Talk program, and remind you of additional ways that you can support the temple. And lastly, I want to invite you to a monthly chat with the board starting in February. The strategic vision and planning process began in early 2020, which by now feels like a lifetime ago, with the recruitment of a council of congregants representing a wide array of voices from various demographics and subgroups of our community. The focus of our discussions began with why are we here, and what do we value in being a member of Temple Bethel? Next, we shared our hopes and dreams for our community, and then lastly, a reality check on what were the challenges and concerns to consider in order for us to get there. We identified specific areas to focus on: religious practices, education, engagement, connection, leadership dynamics, and infrastructure. We then took some deep dives with many small group and one-on-one conversations involving over 100 congregants. As a result of the many discovery conversations, 2 common themes emerged: the need to explore additional Reform rabbinic support for our clergy, and the more immediate need to give priority, resources, and attention to the education of our children. I shared with you a couple of months ago the formation of the Reform Rabbinic Support Exploration Task Force. Yes, that is a mouthful, and it was led by congregant Dave LeBeau. The task force, building on the work of the deep dive groups, met to discuss candidly the needs of our congregation and review various rabbi and rabbi educator options. They affirm that it is of a top priority to hire an educator, and that the second priority is to hire additional Reform clergy support. Upon receiving their recommendations, our Board of Trustees has authorized the immediate hire of a Director of Congregational Learning. It had actually been our intention to do this before COVID hit, and the decision was put on hold as we were uncertain about how our finances would be affected by the pandemic. Next, the board will turn its attention to the second priority identified: the funding and hiring plan for additional Reform clergy support. Our current financial situation does not enable us to pursue the immediate hiring of a rabbi, but I believe that together we will find a solution to this. I am really proud of our board for hearing and responding to the congregation's input received through this strategic planning process, and appreciate very much everyone's participation in identifying the priorities. As we work on addressing the first hiring priority of an educator, I want to take time to clearly state how grateful we are to Wendy Yesharim, our program director, for maintaining the religious school, B'nai Mitzvah program, and the early childhood center programs, which have and will continue to benefit from Wendy's hard work. Wendy will continue in her role of supporting the educational programs under the guidance of the soon-to-be-hired Director of Congregational Learning, who will immediately focus on reinvigorating our programs for the school-age children, including our teens, to be implemented this fall. As part of the strategic vision and planning process, we are right now working to clearly identify the values, priorities, goals, and intentions for our community. While in a very generic way, you could say that the values identified could be common to any synagogue community. However, I personally give them more weight because these are the values and priorities that emerged from the many conversations that we had and will serve as reminders to us as to what is really important to build and sustain our community going into the future. A quick update on COVID. As you know, Orange County has been experiencing a terrible upsurge in COVID cases since Thanksgiving. Since then, the COVID task force continues to support proceeding with only virtual services and programming for the foreseeable future. This is with the exception of the Early Childhood Center, which is able to meet in person following licensing protocols. I want to offer my sincere condolences to any in our community who have suffered losses of loved ones from COVID or other causes, as I know the grieving process is made that much more difficult during this time. In the next few months, the URJ and other Jewish organizations will be holding webinars to give us guidance as to reopening scenarios and protocols. I am really hopeful that we will be able to be together soon as possible, and please know that the safety and comfort of all involved will always be our priority. Coming off the heels of a very heated election season, Rabbi K'vod will be building upon the success of last summer's Can We Talk series. He and his committee of politically diverse congregants have created a 3-part program addressing one of our biggest challenges, building relationships through disagreement. I hope you will join me in signing up for this valuable program for our community. I want to thank the many congregants who generously made tribute donations every month. I want to remind you that you can make a tribute donation anytime for any occasion, in honor or in memory of a loved one or friend. You can easily do this through your ShulCloud account and pay for it with a credit card or an e-check from your bank account. Any amount of support is always appreciated. We have heard that many congregants would like to know more about what we are doing, and also be able to have direct communication with our Board of Trustees. Well, here's your chance. Starting next month, we will have our first chat with the board on Wednesday, February 10th at 8 o'clock. Future dates are yet to be determined, but my intention is to have these monthly. I will be joined by various board members to chat and answer your questions as much as we are able to. As always, you can email me anytime at tbesocpresident@gmail.com with any questions you have. Till next time, please plan on stepping in for a Shabbat service or sign up for the Can We Talk program. And most importantly, stay well.